everyone, I'm Amy and welcome back to My Crafty Home. So the holidays are upon us, and if you're like I am, I love having friends and family come over for dinner and just enjoy each other's company. And I always love to have a little bling on the table. It's just always so nice to have something that just pops, right? Well, I went online, I happened to see this beautiful fruit display, and I had no idea how to make it. I couldn't find anything to tell me the materials, nothing. So I did it on my own. I figured it out. I went to my local Walmart. I went down the craft aisle and I just found a few things that I felt like, yeah, I think this is gonna work. It's not exactly the same as what I saw online, but it's my creation. When you can't find it, you figure it out, right? I'm gonna show you how I pulled this beautiful fruit display, and it can be really interchangeable and really for almost any holiday. At the end of the video, I'd like to show you a few things that went probably a little not so good and some tips to make it a little easier for the next time. So if you want to make it, it won't be as hard.
For this project, you'll need green moss, 10 by 10 inch artificial boxwood mats, approximately about 5 of those, 2 to 3 packs of decorative green pins, E6000 glue, and some scissors. For the Flora Fom, I used a number 8 cube, 6 cube, 18 block, 4 block, 12 block, and a 10 disc. Once I got the foam to where I thought I'd want it to be, I used these bowls as melons to kind of give me a visual. After all your foam pieces are in place, go ahead and start applying the E6000. Remember, this process does take time to dry, and don't forget to use these handy dandy pins. These will be your best friend throughout the project. Clearly, that was not a smart idea, and now we have one less bowl because of it. Oh well, what can you do? I chose to cut the disc so it would be flush with the cube. This way, when I applied the boxwood, it would be flat and adhere a lot better. The boxwoods have a small little hoop to attach them to each other. I didn't use them, but I just wanted to point them out that they're here if you'd like to use them. After I did all the boxwoods on all the sides, I went ahead and used this green moss on the top. You can go ahead and use the E6000. Remember, this will take time for it to dry. And don't forget to do the sides because you want it to adhere on the sides as well. And I also use this tacky spray to kind of keep everything a little bit more together and that it wouldn't kind of like go all over the place. It definitely did the trick. And then once everything was put in place, I didn't forget to use my handy dandy little pins. I'm turning it around to finish the back because I'm going to put it on a table where people walk all around the display. I'm using artificial baby breaths here. However, you could actually use real baby breaths and real flowers if you'd like. In this particular project, I'm using the stems because I can use this all the time and they'll never die. Because I'm using this for Thanksgiving, I want it obviously for a fall theme. If I was using this for Christmas, I would take all the leaves off. I would go ahead and put something a little bit more Christmassy. I could even do something like this with just pure flowers. So this is the part that really becomes something that you can use all year round, and it just becomes so unique and beautiful. Here I'm using a fruit cutter. It's like a 4-in-1 kind of gadget. I loved it. I'm going to put a link down below. You can go ahead and check that out if you like. But as you can see, it really cuts well. For all the melons that I used, I went ahead and cleaned them out. I took out all the seeds and then I scooped out with my little melon scooper here. And by the way, it works so well. And I just cleaned up all the edges. You don't need really thick edges here. You want to use as much as the fruit as possible so that way you can put it in your bowl when you're done. There's a little trick here. I'm just going in and I'm just trying to pick out those little pieces that just don't define it so well. This here really sharpens it up. I'm using different melons, and the watermelon was definitely the hardest to separate. I had to use 2 knives, as you can see here, but it was so beautiful when I opened it. I forgot to record this, however, don't miss this step. You want to secure your melons to the board by using pins. I'm also using the pins to secure different colored grapes throughout the display. I put some cream cheese dip for the fruit out on here, and as you can see, it came out fabulous. This project by far exceeded my expectations. I loved doing it and it just came out beautiful. Here are a few suggestions that I promised you at the beginning of the video. Oh, here's a little FYI, guys. When I mean this project was messy, it was messy. Pure evidence here. I'm throwing myself under the bus. I trashed my house. Thank God everybody was out of my way and I could just have fun by myself. But of course, you can always clean it up, and that's what I did, and I loved every minute of it. Okay, suggestion number 1, wear gloves, guys. Look at this. I'm not joking. No joking at all. This took me probably about 2 hours to get off of my hands. Suggestion number 2, use tacky spray on all of your glitter leaves. Have you ever taken glitter stuff home from the Dollar Tree? Glitter gets everywhere. Just use a little tacky spray and that will eliminate the problem.
My third tip is use a mat underneath your display when you use it. Why? Because this moss is dyed green and the melons could possibly, the juices might flow out and onto your counter, and when it does, it could stain. And it stained mine. However, it took me an hour to get it out. So if you want to avoid that altogether, you could also use the natural color moss, or you could just put a mat on the bottom of your display.
Thanks everyone for stopping by. We hope that you enjoyed this video as much as we did. And if you have a little comment, do so down below, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye everyone.